Hey, what's up, Canada? Welcome again. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. You catch me bouncing to that little ditty every time that intro comes on. I just absolutely love it. I could listen to it over and over and over and over again. So how y'all doing tonight? An idle average Wednesday evening. We've had an interesting day again, as always. So tonight's going to be a little bit different. We're going to do things a little bit differently tonight. We don't have a real show prepared, a bunch of information to drop. We're going to talk about a few things that are on our plates, and we're going to open it up for some of you guys to call in. We've had a few people respond. We talked about this last night. So we're going to bring a few people in and give it kind of a speaker's corner kind of chance here for a few folks. So... charging like our liberal government. Oh man, isn't it insane? Every day there's almost every hour there's something else, and this is all by design. It's all well choreographed, well organized. This assault on our senses and our sensibilities and everything else in between in Canada. There's no way this many atrocities could be coincidence by any stretch of the imagination. And funny enough, there's plenty of scripts available that explain all of this to us, going back to 2010 and the Rockefeller report. Everything that's happening, including what's happening right now, is we're being led down the garden path. Hey Wayner, hey Marta, Daryl, Shannon, Doreen, so many folks. The last couple of days, guys, have been absolutely mind-boggling. The response to my expression piece, shall we call it, has been absolutely astounding. We've had some people that from all walks of life and all corners of the province have given us some really great feedback on that. Some of it has been caution. I've been told to be careful with this, and this is from people that probably know the ins and outs of the law better than I do. I'm just a commoner. An average guy that decided to sit down and express what I was thinking into a piece of paper and to jazz it up a little bit and make it a little bit pretty and make it look like it was something meaningful, because to me it was very meaningful what I was expressing in there. So I knew I would be sticking my neck out with this. I knew I would be sticking it out far. I didn't have even the wildest inkling of how far it would go. Now, the payback on all of this has been astronomical. I do know that I'm gonna bounce back and forth here a little bit between the sides of the fence that this thing has been ping-ponging on. It didn't take long for the Antifa intolerant social justice warriors, the guardians of your social score in the digital space of the world, self-anointed Justice Committee, they were all over this. And since this morning, since I opened up my eyes this morning, I have had my PayPal accounts have been under siege. My email accounts have been under siege. They're trying to take my funding away. This is everything we do is just strictly through gifts and donations from the people, and I only have two different ways to receive that. One is PayPal and one is through e-transfer, and they are trying to shut both of those things down on me. So my PayPal account has been getting dozens and dozens of reports. Derek's got some screenshots here so you guys can see what I'm talking about and how they do this. And this is important. You know, I'm seeing a lot of this, just basement dwellers, trolls, this kind of stuff. We can't let them off the hook like this, guys. And I'm not speaking just on my own behalf here with this. This is significant.
Been attacked by these people.
Anybody that speaks out, anybody that sticks their neck out, is going to receive exactly this kind of treatment. And you can see by the wolves that they hang out with how they do this, right? They will put it out publicly. They will swarm anything that they're told to. Anybody that these guys point the finger at are labeled. And you can go back to the other one there, Derek. I think this one here, I mean, their page is full of them, but they call us, this community is to them considered a hate group, and everybody on it or that shows up on this page is guilty by association. And if they identify you, you can expect the same treatment from them.
You guys go in a file and it goes to the TSAS. So every time you guys comment on our memes, our word posts, our things, they'll sit there and pick through them, put you in a file, and they're going to wait until they see you out and protest and be like, all right, there's a white supremacist, there's a hate group, there's this, there's that, that's what they do.
This is exactly, you become hunted, literally. You will be hunted and stalked and categorized and filed and documented and researched. This is what they do. This is extremely organized, well-funded, and this goes way deeper than most imagine. And this is a syndicate. This is a money-making organization. Their job is to create public enemy number one, so the mainstream media has targets to silence, and Trudeau can make laws that says, see, points at us and says, white supremacists, Nazis, bad, must remove assault weapons. This is how they create that dialogue. This is how they create that cult-like fervor for the things that they need to silence. They need to make people afraid of the big bad boogeyman. And they call us Nazis on a regular basis. They call us white supremacists. They call us dangerous. They tell us we're going to get people killed. All of these things.
Kelly Elizabeth said, should we be afraid to attend? No, these guys, the thing is, they're big battles on the internet.
There's different ways of looking at this. And this is, we not enough of us are truly informed about what we're up against. And seriously, by that I mean, how many people here, honestly, have actually read that document from the Rockefellers released in 2010, where it says right in there, they're going to create a pandemic, and then the protests are going to happen, and then they're going to use the protesters to blame everybody on the second wave. So this is what they're doing here right now. They're setting us up, and this is where I can't tell people to attend or not to attend. I'm not a leader. This is up to each of us as an individual. I'm going to choose to go, and they're going to blame us as the excuse for the next wave of this fake pandemic, plandemic, scamdemic, vax scam. Everything is pushing us to push back so that they can justify with their solution. Problem, reaction, solution. They create the problem, because they know how we're going to react, so they know which solution they can then implement. So this is where it's going to come down to the people. Are we going to continue to buy and follow the mandate of this WHO coup? Because this is where it comes from. This is their weapon. This is their lever. With it, so long as we keep buying into that conspiracy theory, and this is my response to that now is no, I'm not buying their conspiracy theory anymore. This is a tool leveraged to put us in our place and to silence us. And the only one on the, well, I shouldn't say that. No, it's not the only one. There is a massively growing pushback against this WHO agenda. It's not just Trump. Trump is the one that we maybe see the most of pushing back against the CDC and the WHO, saying no, 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 no. Trump's taking the hydroxy pill. He's doing it without a vaccine, but he's getting so much push that he has to allow for the discussion of the vaccine. Meanwhile, he is pushing back against the WHO, which is just an agency of, it's just a branch. It's like the Air Force or the Army for the WHO, just an intelligence branch that has got trying to keep us obliviated under their propaganda and their conspiracy theories to keep us silenced. Now, there is a group of 100 nations already that are saying no. They're looking for legal action. They're going against the WHO, and they want to go after China for this and hold them accountable. But we're not going to hear that in China, here in Canada. They're not going to tell us this. They are sold out to their agenda, and they are going to push this. So my thinking is ultimately we're going to have to break the backs of the mainstream media. We're going to have to break the backs of this back scam huku. That's the only way that we're going to prevent falling into the trap of the second wave that they're already trying to scare us into. Right?
They're getting enough stuff from different countries, like you said. I think Italy is fighting back, and a few other places.
Italy,
South Africa, I think is.
Italy. There's 2 countries in South Africa now that are becoming very outspoken. Putin is basically, he has just kicked Gates and all of his organizations, including Microsoft, out of Russia. Right? So this tells us that this Gates scam, and we showed you guys a video a couple of weeks ago exactly how Trudeau and Gates and Aga Khan are directly connected in this Gavi Council and these other brain trust councils, and they're all right in lockstep with Bill Gates. So this is, again, infiltration to the highest levels in our government, and we are being labeled for it as the enemy. Now, this is why this is so significant. This came up in our show that we did with Barry Prince last Sunday, and he was talking about standing up as a patriot, and I said, now this is where we reach a difference of perspective. From our hearts being natural Canadians growing up here, we have this ideology within us of what is Canadian and what is righteous and what is honorable and what is the right thing to do, the legal thing to do, and we look at what we consider as treasonous criminal behavior by our government, and we think we are defending our government, and our government, having a completely polar opposite ideology and set of rules and agendas to go by, has now labeled us the enemy of the state. We are the criminal, the thing to be feared, the danger to society, the danger to the global citizenship, right? So now from perspective, we think and believe that we're righteous, and so do they. This is the reality that we're in, right? And these guys, these digital assassins, these Antifa, what we just consider as thunks and pugs and punks, these are the modern day soldiers and warriors. These guys are the ones leading the fight. These guys are the ones that end the Faith Goldies, that end the Kevin J. Johnsons, that end the other people that have been silenced. Rance Derrick has now had his channels pulled. They shut down Raging Humanist. All of these people are the ones that we see and hear them in our ears as patriots fighting for what we think and believe in. And these guys are falling to these punks that we just give excuses for. They're not just punks in mommy's basement. These are dangerous soldiers in the fight that we're up against. We've got to stop saying, oh, well, just what can we do? What can we do? No, we've got to stop letting them off the hook. They might only be 16, but they are engaged in terrorism. They are destroying lives, not just mine or Derek's, or there's anybody that has spoken out. Nurses, doctors, these doctors that are getting shut down everywhere, that isn't just the government doing it. That is these legions of these digital soldiers that we call crybabies in mama's basements. We have got to do something to bring voice to this, because these are the guys that are stealing our free speech. The government just collects the information and they put it into back that up a little bit. These digital thugs collect the information. They screenshot our posts. They talk, as we showed you, labeling us, all of us, in every different way, shape, or form, submit reports to organizations like antihatenetwork.ca, to Anti-Racist Canada, and to TSAS, which is Terrorism, Security, and Society, which is a social re-engineering research firm that is directly connected to every alphabet agency in Canada, submitting reports on who the crazies are in Canada. And that is us by their definition. So you guys think that these guys are just idle punks sitting in mama's basement? Wrong.
But don't be afraid of them to stop you from standing up for your rights, because that's what they're trying to make
this
us do.
Is exactly so their plan works. What they do. They put a call out like a dog whistle, and 300 or 400 of them attack you, and they make you completely disposable in the social sphere. Now, most of us, if you're looking for a job, you won't say anything, because if they call you and label you all of this on social media, you are socially done. You will never have a job in your chosen field, because it's going to be out there that you are all of these false things. We have got to silence them. We have got to we need to find somebody that's capable of creating legal class action lawsuits against these people. But most of them can't even be identified, because they run around in the shadows like cowards. So the law has the ability to identify and do something about this. It's called doxing. In the States, it's illegal. Not in Canada, because it's a tool of the left. Well, it is a very powerful tool of the law, one of the most powerful tool, because the law doesn't have to do anything. They don't have to stop people from protesting, because these guys, by the time you mention you want to go to a protest, they will socially destroy you, so you will never go to a protest. They're the ones that make lives absolutely hell for anybody that's trying to organize anything.
Well, here Kelly Elizabeth again said, don't let them make you be violent. You know what? Let's just ignore them. We
ignore their taunts. No, this is different topics here.
Yeah.
The violence is going to come on the street.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen in the digital space, but they are no less dangerous in the digital space, which is what I've been talking about here, is the digital space. We need to talk to our law enforcement. We need to talk to our elected officials. Why are our rights being stymied online by a bunch of digital terrorists? Because that's exactly what they are, and we're scared to use that word. This has to stop. This is for you guys that this has to stop, not just me. Right? And I'm trying to hammer on this tonight, because if these guys succeed, next week it'll be, oh, remember Wayne Peters and What's Up Canada? They're gone, remember? Oh, that's so bad. These thugs, these pugs, thugs and punks, it's just, it's okay. Then what? What chance do we have then? one by one by one by one, we're allowing them to take our speech away from us and those that speak for us. So if you're not, if you can't be the person to stand up and speak for your community to get the message out there to continue the fight, you've got to help those that are under attack.
Mm-hmm. You gotta watch out for each other.
The tools are there on the platforms. There are hundreds of these platforms. There are groups out there that spend an extraordinary amount of time trying to share and expose these guys. These guys are directly funded by George Soros. These guys are directly connected to Bernie Farber and Warren Kinsella and Ahmed Hussein and all of these guys. We've given the evidence to that. We've put the evidence out there. And we still cannot seem to find a group of people angry enough that want to protect their right to speak. They think this is just our problem, or it's just Kevin's problem. Oh, we shouldn't have said something and got him into trouble. No, that isn't it anymore, guys. It's way beyond that, right? So I really wanted to drive that home in here tonight. This expression that I put together and we've put out here in the last couple of days has really stuck my neck out beyond and above that. And if we get taken down, I was out of Facebook jail. I could post on What's Up Canada for less than 2 days, and they've got my personal profile silenced on Facebook again. My PayPal is under siege. My email is under siege. These guys they're winning right now against us. In my heart and mind, I know as a nation, we're starting to come together to a place where we can win, but I need to hammer on this while I can. So that's really been on my plate today in the last couple of days. This notice has gone out tens of thousands of times. It has reached some of the top levels of government. A lot of them are trying to slough it off, pretending
we're working hard for you from Ottawa. The same old canned messages,
the canned messages, but there have been some that were actual people messages, including senators that have said, oh yes, okay, we have got this now and it is being forwarded. Well, we knew between you and us and the fence post here, we know that's being forwarded to probably somebody else that's already on the same corrupt team, but at least we know that people are getting eyes on it. So if Derek's doing a funding drive for bail or law firms, this will be the reason for it. Because they are not happy.
I sent out 2 links to 2 ladies that asked for it, so
yeah.
See if they pop in. If you're still listening, if you're doing it on your phone, you have to do it through Chrome or Safari. Accept your camera and your microphone, or if you just want to have your microphone, just accept your microphone and shut the camera off. It's pretty simple.
Right. So yeah, a few people have got some links to whoever
I don't
gets
hand
on.
Out too many, but
whoever gets here first can come on and
Peter
sound
Yetman,
off for a few minutes.
He has a bad internet connection. He tried getting on, but it didn't work.
No.
So we'll wait a little bit.
They're putting the Wi-Fi through the paces on the rock, are they?
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Lockdown is probably really hard on Wi-Fi. So yeah, this is the other thing, guys. To get away from that is the reason they want to. So the Antifa wants us to protest. And they want violence, but they also want to do this as in a controlled opposition type of way where they're kind of not coming out and doing anything. They want the protests to build because they need enough of us to come out to blame the next wave of their imaginary enemy on us, right? So we're walking a razor's edge here right now. Rough figure for Canada Day? No idea, honestly. We're not involved in any kind of organizing of this at all. all we've done is we've talked and heard from different people. We share the odd posts that we get, same as everybody else. But I can tell you that from some of the groups, I have heard some that have into the thousands that are committed to going, not just to Ottawa, but to all of the buildings across the country. So
either way, every building is going to have a bunch of Canadians standing at their doorstep.
And a lot of them are going to be waving that piece of paper around. Now, we've had some people that are well versed in constitutional wording and language and stuff like that have reached out and said that there's some things that are of concern and that to them. And I didn't do that up to put anybody in danger. This was an expression. And in my mind, I am maybe perhaps testing the boundaries of our rights to free expression. Our rights to free speech. I don't think I crossed the line with that. And if there is, and I'm going to get more counsel on this, on that wording specifically, and we'll amend it if we can or need to. If they don't come with their little padded van for us or anything like that. So I want people to understand that it's a if I was a painter, that would be my art. I play with words. My words are my tools, and maybe I'm not the best word carpenter, or building something out there, but that was what I felt was a fair and honest expression of what I was thinking and what I believed a lot of other Canadians were thinking, and I had no idea how many Canadians were actually thinking exactly along those lines. So it's been absolutely overwhelming. Say, I know, and this is interesting. Thank you, Charlene. She herself has reached thousands through groups, and a lot of other people have done the same thing. They on their own have reached thousands of people, and that's kind of what I had to tell the people that were cautioning me about doing this, was like, well, we're not putting that one back in the bag.
It's too late now.
I mean, it's not an official document. It's an expression.
We were just told to be careful from someone from Mrs. Canada. That's it.
Yep. We were just told to be careful. So, I mean, this is what I'm trying to, I'm not apologizing for it. It's an expression. And under our laws and rights in Canada, as I still see them and understand them, I still have the right to free expression. I didn't call for violence. Not at all. Didn't call for threats to harm anybody. Not at all. So, if you want to translate it into Newfoundlandese, Peter, you're going to have to do that one yourself. I have had some people. There's a bunch of people that are working on getting it translated to French. I wouldn't even dare to attempt to something like that. And I was at least told I was smart on this one, that I didn't go to Google and trust Google Translate to put it into French. I didn't think that would be a good idea, so I was told that was a good idea to not think that was a good idea. So we've got some people working on it in French, and hopefully we can get that out soon as well. It was something that created some conversation, right, wrong, or otherwise. Conversation is what we need. We need to have meaningful conversation. I don't mean we don't need echo chambers. We need meaningful conversation. This is how information gets transferred. It's how we communicate, right? Exactly, Marta. It's the message that counts. It was the feeling, the heart, the frustration that thousands of other Canadians are obviously feeling the same thing. So this was what it was about. And it's been pretty unbelievable. Looks like we've got somebody that has made it in.
It's audio only. She couldn't get her camera going. I was trying to guide her through it, but bring her in. How's it going, Lorraine?
Not bad. How about you?
Oh, we're doing great.
Thanks for popping on and taking a minute to talk to us.
I have finally. I don't have a camera on my laptop.
Oh, that's all right. We can still hear you great.
We can still hear you. Tell us what you're thinking.
Okay, so I'm one of those old stock Canadians that they want.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm one of those old stock Canadians that Trudeau or Trudy or whatever the hell you want to call them wants to get rid of. And I'm trying to get on Twitter on my phone so that I can try and do this to these Antifa people. And it's taking forever to load it. I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, no worries, no worries. The one thing that I do want to caution everybody is don't engage with these guys. You cannot communicate with them. You will never correct them. All you will do is
Like talking to a wall.
You will the instant they see your name, your profile, your handle, you are the enemy. All they're there for is to goad you into saying something they can report you for. So the only thing that we can do is we can't help them. We can only report them when they abuse us. That's really the only way to handle these guys. Once they've got a sniff of your name, then they're like sharks in the with smelling blood in the water. They won't stop until they've destroyed you. There's no to them. They're playing a giant game of Call of Duty, and we are the gaming enemy. Oh, we've lost her.
Uh-oh. Well, she could try again.
Yeah. If anybody else wants to call in, send us a message.
Or PM or whatever.
Maybe somebody has. No,
not yet. We'll see here. Maybe she'll get back in again. She probably just had a bad internet like Peter did.
Yeah, and I remember to what she was talking about, the old stock Canadians. And that was something that young Trudeau had said in 2015, that he was going to change Canada into a post-national state. And if old stock Canadians did not like it, they would be replaced.
And that's starting.
I don't think people really understood what that meant until here recently.
You notice most of the COVID deaths are in the homes and stuff like that. Well, majority. I can't say most. I don't have the facts for that yet, but you know what I mean, right?
The numbers don't add up. It's all paid. It's all part of and anybody that speaks out that's actually in the system and is honest gets silenced or loses their jobs. We're going to have a really brutal time of this because the people with the truth can't tell it, and the people that want to tell it can't. Everybody's living under fear. Most of the fear is of the persecution of their own freaking government. And it's not going to get better. And when we do stand up, it's going to get worse. They're going to attack us and blame us for their next manufactured conspiracy. And then they're going to blame everything again. It's a vicious cycle, and they're set up to make us, you, me, the average citizens of Canada, the criminal at every step of the way of this. And the only way that I could see to get out of this was through some of the things that I said in that document. And if we can stop the lies, the crimes against us by these paid mercenaries called media, called news, that is keeping us all locked down as prisoners in our own home. The people are the prisoners right now, unless you're what they
there we go.
deem critical. All right, looks like we've got somebody else has made it in.
And let's see if we got it. We got Patrick. How's it going, Patrick?
Yes. Not too bad. How are you guys?
Every day is a
See
new
ya.
adventure.
Are you having fun yet?
Uh, I could think of other things I would call fun, but getting to talk to amazing people is never a bad thing. There's worse things that I could think to be doing. That's for sure.
Yeah,
But it would be much better doing all of this meeting and talking to all these people like you if we were under different circumstance.
for sure.
So what do you want
Uh,
to take and hammer home tonight, Patrick?
I just kind of want to follow along with you guys and uh, have something interesting to share with you. The Liberal Party was putting out a thing there where you could join up. So I put something stupid and then put down my name as Go Fly a Kite. So they responded to me and they accepted me. So then they have a list of a survey that you do, right? And so I filled out the survey like a normal person would fill out the survey for any party, you know, like trying to be decent and everything. And then they had a comment section. Oh, I wish I could remember what I wrote, but it was I let them have it with all 16 guns.
Nice.
And they wanted to know how they could make the nation better. So I told them everything that they were doing wrong.
Yeah, you guys can't fix it anymore.
I don't think there's anything that the Liberal Party can do that's going to fix what they've done. They can't put their genie back in the bottle, and all they're doing
crazy.
is they're just continuing to steal from us while they're trying to brainwash and train us into what they want for their state of the United Nations.
Yes, that's for sure. Today, Pierre Poilievre was going after Morneau and wanting to know why convicts are getting a $2,000 CERB payment. And there's 1 million fraudulent CERB claims.
They're recalling a good chunk of them already.
Yeah, and good luck with some of the people.
Absolutely.
Can't get blood from a stone.
Well,
that's $2 billion.
This brings up another discussion about these massive handouts to businesses, where now the businesses are told to surrender a certain number of shares and they'll help them out. Or there's no interest on these loans and handouts to these small businesses. And now I've talked to some people that have taken that money, and that money is now gone, and the lockdowns continue, and there's no more money, and now they still can't pay their bills, and the government will demand their tax back on that. There may not be interest, but you are still going to have to pay taxes on that money when the government decides that it's demanding these taxes. So all of these handouts either end up leaving the government owning your business or crushing your business.
You're better off to just walk away from all of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, and this is the same thing that they're doing on an individual level.
Yeah. Yeah. My wife works in home care and she's front line, so they've offered $1,000 for that. She hasn't had a raise in 5 years. I think we'll take it before my wife retires because this is getting ridiculous out there.
Yeah, no doubt.
She's all gowned up. She's got a mask on. She's got a face shield. She's got a gown, and she's doing baths. At 62 years old, she doesn't need this.
No, that's harmful. Yeah, we're supposed to breathe oxygen, not carbon dioxide. All these masks do is keep us breathing half the oxygen we're supposed to be breathing. This is killing us.
It would kill me. It would kill me.
Yeah,
I have compromised lungs. I was a heavy smoker, so I couldn't breathe under that.
It's just absolutely not. We are not built to survive wearing masks, and we're seeing cases of athletes, joggers, where they're collapsing with collapsed lungs because they're trying to exercise with masks on. Meanwhile, all they're doing is destroying their systems. So this insanity has got to stop, and they want us to keep getting weaker and weaker and weaker, so we keep getting sicker and sicker and sicker, so that we keep buying the fear, 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 and those that stand up are going to be held, be pointed at when this extended compromising of our health. When people are doing this for months and months and months and months, our bodies are paying a price for that, and then 3 months from now, they're gonna, when people are saying, being told that they're dying because of this again, because of the protesters. This is a one really sick scheme, and I feel bad for your wife at her age that she is having to deal with this. I hope you guys are going to be all right outside of outside of this.
She does sometimes, like she got 19 clients a day that she goes to. She works in home care. And, you know, she's doing baths dressed up like that. I'm scared she's going to have a stroke.
Yeah, exactly. Complying will kill us. Complying to these rules will kill us.
Yeah, exactly. Another thing to note, Manitoba's opened up their, on starting Friday, we're allowed up to 50 people at a gathering and 25 people indoors. Before we were only allowed 10 on sort of on the deck type of thing. So we're very slowly, we're leading the charge, so to speak, coming out of the very low incidence of death here. And we're doing fine. I think we're down to 28 cases left and one new one, Walmart employee. Not good.
I really wish we could even believe.
I turned the TV off.
I wish we could believe what they were telling us about all of that. I mean,
I like,
you know, it's miraculous that we have no more flu deaths. It's just COVID. That's the only thing that kills people now is COVID. You know.
I have a elderly lady that she lives out in Kelowna, Penticton area, and they're originally from Britain. They'd be in their 70, 75-ish type thing, and she was telling me her sister's got it in the UK. She's had it for 3 weeks, and on expressing my condolences and all that. And in the end, she says, and she's had a DNR for quite a while now. So she's had a do not resuscitate order in place before the COVID.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, you know, like this person was not well to start with.
And that's, and this is the thing. That same person, without this magic word, would be probably in the same situation, but they would be calling it influenza. They would be calling it flu season. And the whole world wouldn't be jailed in their homes because of that. So they need this invisible word that we can't prove or disprove to keep us guessing, to keep justifying the totalitarianism. And we're falling for it. And we need a resistance before they get their propaganda buried into us too much that the next wave is real. Even it's not to say people aren't dying, but we got to be talking about it the right way. What's that?
We've got some people out here we got people out in Manitoba ready and willing. Some of them, you know.
I bet. Well, we're gonna try and give some other folks a chance to come on here if they want to. Patrick, what do you want people to think about when you're heading off here?
Just don't listen to all the crap that they're putting on the television about this freaking COVID. Go out, live your lives. Take care of your bodies. Put proper vitamins in there. You know, if you smoke, quit smoking. COVID likes that. If you believe in it, quit smoking. If you believe in all the hype, quit treating yourself like that. Get the hell outside, get some fresh air. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just live your life. The stress of it all is what's killing people.
Awesome.
Have a good day, boys.
Well, thanks for popping in, Patrick. We'll do this again one day soon.
Yeah, you have a good day, fellas.
You too, Patrick.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. And so that was Patrick. And looks like we've got somebody else here. We got Somebody going back a long ways.
Yeah,
Here's a warrior. Hey, Loretta, how you doing?
Hey, Derek, I can smell your stinky feet all the way over here. Okay, why can I not hear you?
you can't hear us? You might need headphones.
Hello?
we can hear you.
Hmm. Can you hear me?
We hear you, yeah.
Why can't I hear you guys?
Not sure. Must be on your
Yeah,
end.
I'll
I
leave
think
and see if I can get on my laptop.
Yeah, do that. Call back in afterwards. Yeah. All right. Yeah, no, she's
a force of nature.
she came up in the truck convoy, and she was the one that got carried into the hill because the snow was so full, or the yard was so full of snow, and we had to carry her so she can listen to the speeches.
Yep.
And she's done the footwork. She's done the.
All right, here's a question from the gallery. If they'll be stopped crossing Manitoba or Ontario borders. We didn't see anything when we drove across a few weeks ago.
And I know someone that's been back and forth twice already now since we came across and had no problems. They came from Nova Scotia all the way to BC and back.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't think there's going to be any travel restrictions. I heard that even the Quebec border stepped down after the long weekend.
I think with the economies and everybody kind of leaning more towards opening up, that's going to become even more of a non-issue. I mean, come July 1st, as we get close to that, perhaps maybe things will be different. No ability to predict that at this point in time. Derek met the convoy in Arnprior when we got to Arnprior. Yeah, so he didn't get to make he was across the country earlier, but not on the convoy. He met us in there and been rocking with people from the convoy ever since. Quebec borders are open. That's good to know. Perfect. Thanks, Stacey. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I met them in Ottawa. Actually, I was waiting for them on the highway to get them filmed coming into Antrim truck stop, and they turned off the road ahead of us, so we had to bomb up, go all the way around and back up, and we caught them just in time to get a good shot of them coming into the truck stop. It was a great night. Interesting
thing, Jack. There are no grid roads going between Manitoba and Ontario. There is one road through. That's it. It's probably the only place in North America that has so few roads of access. It's pretty bizarre, actually.
It's strange.
It is really bizarre.
So we're just gonna wait for Loretta to come on. So if someone else wants to come on, I don't know if someone sent you a message for the link or not. Let's take a look.
If anybody's.
But Loretta wouldn't take too long to get back on.
Message.
So.
No, nobody wants to come on and talk. We're not going to be on here a real long time today either. I just wanted to give this a try and see if folks thought this was something cool and wanted to do.
We can do more of it, you know. Come speak your mind.
We can do more, absolutely. Interesting question from Janet. Did you know Wayne before then, or was that our first meeting? We had talked online a couple of times. I think I'd been on
probably about a month before the convoy. You came on with me and Rick.
Yeah, I did. You
did two shows with us.
I think I did 2 interviews with him via Skype kind of thing before the convoy, and then actually met them in person on the convoy.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, I think the day we started, we kind of set off on our own. From
Canada Day.
Was Canada Day last year?
Yeah.
So yeah, our tag team duo is kind of coming close to our anniversary of working together. So I guess this Canada Day is kind of significant, right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna give someone a little bit of a visual here of the Manitoba and Ontario border.
I think Derek's
just for fun. See right here, hold on, let me get my pointer. There's no other roads here. This is the border right here. This is the only way into Ontario.
There's one way in, one way out. And interestingly on that,
Even if you go up higher, not even any little roads when you can zoom in.
there might be some bush logging roads. There's some mystery clan trap line types of trails, but there's no roads across that border. None. Nothing. So
yeah. Just so you guys have an idea, if you've never been through there, that would be the one place you'd have problems if there was roadblocks and stuff like that, but there's no problems. We went through fine. A few other people went through fine.
We heard about the quarantine thing as well, Wayne, but we didn't see any evidence of it. We had no beef. There was nobody at either border. There was coming between Saskatchewan into Manitoba was there was a flashing LED bulb sign, and that was it. Wash your hands. Da, 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 da,
Stay
da.
apart.
Stay apart. That was it. And then going into Ontario, I don't think there was even that.
Go. We got Loretta back in.
All right, we'll give this another try.
Oh, she's got her headphones this time. Oh, no audio now.
Can you hear it? We can't hear you now.
Oh, no.
Can't hear you.
No audio on your end. Hold on a second. Let's mute.
Yeah.
There's interference.
We hear static. Is it plugged all the way in?
Nope.
Still nothing.
She's like, one moment. She's going to get another pair, I bet.
Try one more time. This stay apart stuff is absolutely nonsense.
It should be like at your own discretion, right? Instead of being like forced to. Oh, try that. Almost had something.
Oh,
I think you have to shorten it. Oh. Leave it right there.
Looks like we're hearing something.
Almost. Technology, eh?
No.
Almost heard something there. I think you have a short in it.
This new normal.
Close.
What is dating gonna look like? Are you?
You have your COVID status.
Yeah. What's your COVID status? You're cute, but if your COVID status isn't up to date, I can't date you. Oh wait, mate, you haven't been vaxxed. Oh no. Is there going to be a separate, test form on how recent your COVID inoculations are, so that you're going to be considered dateable to the general public? I get a lot of questions about this.
Still not working on
rambling.
Made in China. Are those headphones made in China? It cuts in. It almost works.
Sounds like it's trying, but it's still not getting nothing.
No. No fair. Do you have a case on it? Maybe stop it from going all the way in? Sure.
No luck. We'll have to try this again another day, and everybody be a little bit more prepared.
Oh. Well, does Ed want to come on?
Looks like Ed wants to come on.
Oh, okay, Ed. Now behave now.
Yeah, you behave, Ed. We got 5 minutes left. I'm not getting into a deep debate with you. We can do that on any day.
We'll get Ed on. COVID status. Okay. Well, we'll get Loretta on. Maybe we'll get her on the special show. She needs we haven't talked to her in a while. Let's see how long it takes Ed to get in here.
It's interesting. A couple of these people that do spend a lot of time on camera. I'm hoping to get people that we don't see and hear from all the time on camera.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that's
no,
the rest of you guys. Come on, and talk to us sometime.
yeah, we'll do this like maybe once a week or something. Just have a call-in show where everybody can just, speak about what's on your mind. This is only a test run. So Ed will be in here in no time. He's seen it.
There
There we go.
There's the big guy.
How's it going, boys?
Not bad.
Every day is a new adventure, brother. And yourself?
Working for a change, which is nice.
Well, you got some work.
Somebody's got to kiss. Somebody's got to keep the commies fed. That's what I tell the working people out there is, all these people on handouts. Somebody's got to pay the taxes, right?
Well, I didn't say I was getting paid. I just said I'm working.
Not yet, right?
I hear you.
So, anyways, you struck a nerve when you were talking about TSAS and guys like Evan Balgord and Antifa and all that shit. You were there, Wayne. What happened June 20th?
Yep. And this, people think that they're just basement dwellers, that these guys are just crybabies, these guys are dangerous. These are the same guys when we go out into public, and this is what Ed is referring to. If you guys didn't see what they did to Jack.
Yeah, at Pegida.
In downtown. And Jack was just one. To me, that's personal story because I got a chance to interview Jack afterwards. And as far as I've heard and seeing Jack, there's still been no arrests on this. This is a 70-year-old guy that got held down on the street, and five or six guys were kicking the shit out of him. One of them had a boot on his head. Ed went in to try and help them, and in the video, and I caught all this downtown Toronto, you can see Ed get jumped by a bunch of them. They put fences and barriers up between us, and the cops were ghosted.
Yeah, they're like, carry on, get out of here, just keep moving. That's
Well,
it.
no, the cops were watching all this, and they seen me get kicked in the back, right?
Yeah.
So the guys came and did a flying kick in the back, and, well, they got lucky. They managed to move me, right? But no more Mr. Nice Guy. These guys are terrorists. Have you seen how we've been kettled and how they treat the people, and people that come to the protests, they're just in shock? And we just stand there and we put up with this shit. No, these days are gone now. Enough is enough. And as far as the law goes, what happened to Jack, that was attempted murder. I don't care what you say or how you slice it. It was documented. It was on film. The police, the Metro Toronto police, are aiding and abetting murder.
Yep.
Period.
Yep.
There's no denying it. This is fact. I'm not trying to shame the cops because, quite frankly, I used to have a lot of respect for Metro's finest. And I know people that are retired from there. I know people that still work there. And to allow this nonsense to go on, and then 3 months they're saying, oh, yeah, we got one of our best detectives on it. 3 months later, saying, oh, it's a civil matter. So attempted murder in Toronto is a civil matter. That's what we're told. That's why no one's been charged.
Boggling.
They didn't even look into it. And this blows my mind.
Well, the captain Saunders there is he takes the orders from the TSAS too, right? They do anti-hate seminars with John Tory and all kinds of stuff on how to deal with protesters.
And here's just something else that people probably don't realize how big and how powerful this is these guys that are wear the suits behind the thugs with the jack boots that are kicking and attacking old men on the streets of Toronto because they want to say that they stand for something. Now these guys in their suits behind the Bernie Farber and Warren Kinsella is guys like Warman. Now, most people have heard of David Icke, right? David Icke got deplatformed by an organization in the United Kingdom And guess who was the lawyer driving the bus behind the team that got David Icke deplatformed by an organization in the UK that was exact twin sister organization to the TSAS here in Canada? Their anti-hate networks, led by the charge of Warman and the Open Society Foundation and the Southern Poverty Law Center and everybody's favorite buddy, George Soros. So people that think that there isn't a connection and that these guys don't have immense amounts of power, they can take down anybody. And this is what they do. And if you do not comply and they catch you on the streets, they will not think twice about doing harm. And age doesn't matter to them. They have no respect for humanity.
They're terrified. Like they in their mind, they're terrified of the white supremacists, and they think everybody's a white supremacist, so they attack.
I don't know where this white supremacist crap is coming from.
I don't know.
I really don't. I have no idea where the hell it's coming from. I get along with everybody except these jerk-offs, Antifa, and these black bloc people.
They're not. There's see. This is our struggle. Is we struggled to make sense of this. We struggled to find what could we have possibly done to for them to come up with this stuff. And the bottom line of it is nothing. We don't have to do nothing. They're not in the business of actually identifying anything. They are in the business of manufacturing bad guys.
Hate.
Well, hang on.
Manufacturing so-called haters so that they can justify their solution without racism, without Nazis, without white supremacists. There is no justification for their solutions like gun bans. Why are gun bans such a big topic? Because of the white supremacy and the Nazis and the crime and the hate crime. Well, there is no real Nazism and white supremacy, but they are creating the haters so that they can justify their action. That's what it's all about. We will never find common sense or reason in these labelings and these attacks, and this is why it's so generalized. Anybody that speaks out is going to get this label because they need bad guys and they need lots of them. The more bad guys they can make and create for the media, the more harsh means they can justify.
They're in cahoots with the media too, because every time they find this big gold nugget of Wayne Peters, Derek Sawyer, Ed Jamsek, they send it to the news. They send it here. They send it there. They tag it in their Twitter to all the news places like Global, CBC. They tag all the stuff that they find on us, even to the fake news.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It is a lot of fake news going on. I don't know if you guys were at the protest, but one of the ladies from City News tried to show up to one of these protests. And she got mobbed before she even made it over to the other side to get the other side of the story, eh? And so she ran a piece, and I think within 2 hours it got taken down.
Wow, I didn't know that.
On City, yeah.
Well, that's surprising.
I think her name was Pam. So, some journalists try to be impartial to a point. A lot of them try to bait you. You don't, bottom line, you're not going to bite the hand that feeds you. Trudeau Jr. is a communist, more so than his father. We know this, right?
He's Trudeau's father was in the beginning stages of developing this. Now they've got generations invested into this, and they can see the finish line. That's the difference from where this Trudeau is at from the first Trudeau. He set the foundation, the foundation for this to be followed through.
They also recruit these kids through high schools and universities and colleges, and that's proven too.
Trudeau wasn't born into he was born into a strategy, not into a family. This was planned for him before he was born. Ooh. And exactly everything he's done is a part of what their agenda is. He's following the orders. He's an idiot. He is the village idiot. And he just happened to be the guy designated to put on the face for the words that they're going to pump into those little earpieces that he uses.
So, Ed, I hope there's some gun advocates in here, because this is really something that we found out, that Bernie Farber's Mosaic Institute in Anti-Hate is part of the gun grab. Did you know that?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
How did that come about?
It's on the actual ban list. I think the people that are a part of it, all the organizations that are go for the gun ban.
Warman has been leading the charge for the lady, I don't remember her name, that is behind that gun ban for a decade.
Well, communists, that's the way they roll, right? They can't have people on the street having guns, like they took all the guns away in communist China before they took over. Vietnam, same thing happened. North Vietnam, you can't have personal guns. And I'm trying to think if there's any. Oh yeah, Castro did the same thing in Cuba.
Venezuela,
yeah.
Venezuela. Once they flipped the government in Cuba in 58 or 59, all the guns were confiscated. Only police had them in the military.
The only country that has never been invaded in modern history is also the only country that where the law is that every citizen has a shotgun. That's Switzerland.
Yep. See, you guys remember that. The Mosaic Institute, Bernie Farber, Richard Warman, these people helped the liberal government push this gun law.
They're the ones driving the bus.
Same people that are on the street, Antifa.
And yes, we do have evidence of that. That's getting put together in another story we'll drop out. Been trying to drop out, but I kind of got sidetracked by other exciting days. But real soon we've got some evidence to drop on that's going to connect the dots for everybody on Warman and the anti-gun drive in Canada, and that's going to fire up some people as well.
And another helpful hint, Ed, TSAS is a program ran out of the Waterloo Kitchener University. It's right there. That's where their address is.
So to just go over for those that aren't up to speed on what this is that we're talking about, this TSAS, Terrorism, Security, and Society, go ahead, go look them up. Giant nonprofit organization with more than 350 contributing writers, many of whom we have identified as leaders and writers and propagandists within the Antifa organization.
There's someone that's actually in the government, liberal government, that's in there.
Ahmed Hussein. These guys submit the recommendations to all of the alphabet agencies, the CSIS, I don't even know, CDIS, whatever they call themselves, and the RCMP, and all of these things get their recommendations for law from TSAS, which is Front Company, NGO.
Now, this is quite relevant. You're wondering, okay, most people thought, cops are pretty decent and cops do the right thing. And overall, I think most cops became cops to do what was right and just because they believed in the law, they believed in the system, they believed in having a little bit of enforcement, and this is good for society in general. Now, what people like TSAS and was it Evan Belgord's right up there in that group too, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
So he's written articles. So what happens is they write these articles. They're fictional, most of them. They're not backed by anything. They make up studies. They make it sound real good and real official. And they feed this to the police force. Now, your average cop has never even heard of Antifa. But they've heard about white supremacists.
Yep.
Now, where are they getting this information from?
Guys like this clown right here on the screen. And a lot of people saw that video in Hamilton at the free speech event that Dave Rubin and Maxime Bernier did, and that little 82-year-old grandmother and her partner that got stopped and accosted by a bunch of thugs. And what people didn't seem to realize is those thugs are the exact same thugs that are the group that beat down Jack, trying to kill him on the street, as well as at least a half a dozen others that were seriously injured by this group that day. It's also the same people that were attacking that old couple that are submitting the articles, the recommendations, the reports to this organization on the screen in front of you guys here right now. Now, and then you go to, trying not to, sorry, Sylvia. This is what we're up against, guys. These are not just basement dwelling, popcorn eating, video gaming thugs. This is a serious, powerful organization. And when you go and you read some of the reports that they have submitted to government, these guys were also behind recommending Bill C-71. We've got a copy of the document that the Anti-Hate Network signed by Warman and Farber, and I think Belgore's name is on that signature too, that they submitted to the gun ban. These are the people that are screwing up our country.
And the sad part is there's groups like CCFR, Canadian Council for Firearms, I believe it is.
Yep.
I haven't got a clue this is going on.
They need to know about this. That's why I'm hoping there's some gun people on here tonight.
You know, and we did a couple of hours and laid this all out with court's testimony, with court documents, the actual evidence, and they've got it so suppressed, and nobody wanted to see it. You still had less than 1,000 views on it.
I think this guy did a report on Kevin J. Johnston.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me. Anyone that's going to say anything against the communist narrative, and let's face it, it is freaking communism.
Yeah.
We've had hard socialism here in this country for many years, and it's been slowly creeping in, slowly. And the next step is hard communism, and people can think, oh, you know, I don't even have a tin hat, so it's coming. We just don't know it.
These are the guys that among those pictures that Derek showed there are the ones that are out there at events, gathering intel on us, taking pictures of us, these pictures make their hands onto the Yellow Vest Canada Exposed, and like we saw the other day where they're saying, can you identify the people in these images? Where they're literally looking to
they're making boogeymans pretty much.
Make some more boogeymen, exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, beyond that, even trying to find this here, see if I can find this real quick. There's literally, bear with me. There's actually a new division of police. There's a new division of investigative police that all they're doing is they're infiltrating our protests and rallies to gather intel on us, to report back to these organizations. An entirely new branch of police force that I've never heard of before. It's bizarre. These guys have got it so stacked up against us, and nobody knows, or nobody cares.
Probably a little bit of both. But what are they going to say? Oh, these are nice, decent people. They pay their taxes. They're honest. They're hardworking. Salt of the earth people. Sorry, guys, there's no dirt on them.
That's not. I wish that's what they would say, but that's not what we hear when Chrystia Freeland comes out and says, "Oh, the biggest danger to Canada is white nationalism." That's what the UN needs to stop in Canada. The white nationalism is the biggest threat to our nation. This is where it comes from.
If you're a communist, you got to get rid of all religion. Number one.
Yep.
Because the state has to be the highest authority. So that's why they come after guys like the preachers like David Lynn.
Yeah.
That's why they try to beat up and mob Sandra Solomon down at the Eaton Center 2 years ago.
Yeah, I remember.
They take pictures and they're smiling while this is going on.
Oh, they're doing their job. They're going to get bonuses. They literally get have bounties on articles. Anybody that sends them evidence can get up to between $300 to $500 for a report. So when something like this junk that went up on YVCE or about my little shenanigans and trying to dox me. They're literally getting paid to do this.
Yeah.
Right. There's reward money for them at this. So there's no wonder why these guys do this. And oh, this is another one. This one really burns me. Hamilton Extinction Rebellion. They got busted on the tracks. These are the same
Woody
punks
Jerry.
that were beating the preachers in the park. And they get caught being fake Indians, and they put up GoFundMes, and every union in the country is donating hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars to these guys. The unions are paying for their legal fees to terrorize you.
So if you're in the union, your union dues are paying thugs to disrupt Canada, to block our railroads, to block our infrastructure, to block our economy, to crush our economy.
They're paying for them to attack you, and then they're paying to defend them, and then begging money from the community for the poor people who got busted standing up against fascism. We submitted the evidence again. What happened in Gage Park. The union rep walked right past my camera and stayed on camera, never left frame until he went and started attacking
That's all right.
a preacher.
It's sad. Ed,
QP, Hamilton, vice president, identified.
Barry Conway.
Nothing.
He's a repeat offender too.
Repeat offender. He happened to be arrested in the train blockades here as well, but he's part of those begging for money for their GoFundMes to defend them in court, right? So I think we're gonna call it for
it was
guests.
a good test run. I hope next time people are more.
Let's try and do that a Wednesday night thing.
Yeah.
Guys, and we'll see if we can get it ironed out on Wednesday nights. It's kind of a hump night anyways, so we'll do something a little bit different, keep everybody guessing. So anybody that thought about it tonight, maybe we can try and do it again next Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, same time, same place, provided we are still here. But this is the stuff that we're trying to get Canadians, the truth to Canadians. And it's so difficult. They make it so hard, and they make it so tedious. And then when they try and take the feet out from under you yet too, it's like, oh my God.
So, like in that letter that Wayne wrote, all NGOs, nonprofits need to be transparent. That's the reason why you put it in there, is exactly why we're in this situation with the unions, with TSAS, with the Southern Law Poverty, the Mosaic Institute, the Anti-Hates, the Yellow Vest Canada Exposed, or these guys. Yeah, it's there needs to be transparency.
I just I wanted to put this up for Deborah to let you know. I'm sorry if we didn't get to your comments, but yes, you are being seen. We are being heard. There's a lot of comments. We don't catch them all in time, or we get lost and stuff, and other stuff ends up coming to the fore. There is lots of stuff. People planning to go to Ottawa for July 1st, as well as for all of the main legislature buildings. I really have no idea, other than there's going to be lots. Get informed about who's coming at you guys. These guys are for real. They are dangerous. They have a strategy. They have orders. They have bosses. Culture. They have bosses that are very, very prominent, and this is going to get us into trouble again because we actually used names.
It was public information.
It is public information, but every time we do something, they just amp it up and they jack it up, and we're kind of on our own on this. I mean, there's a few people that we've got a group of people that tries. They try. They are absolutely amazing people, and they watch for the hate that comes at us. But to be honest, there's no way to stop them all. There just isn't.
We'll give Ed a final word because he popped in there. You jumped out, so you have the final word. We're gonna
unplug here pretty quick, Ed. We'll give you the final word.
bottom line, people, this nonsense is going on, and if you're not going to stand up now, don't be surprised if a lot of your friends are getting killed 5 years from now. Communism is on its way. Maurice Strong started this shit, what, 40, 50 years ago?
Yep.
And he died retired and died in China. So this didn't start yesterday. They've been at this a while.
No. And anybody that tried to stand up to it, Will Rogers Smith was one. He wrote a book that got banned in Canada called Ho Canada. Explained it all out long before that. There's been all kinds of people through our history of Canada that have tried to stop this, and nobody has stood behind them. That's our copy of Ho Canada.
You have to pirate it to get it.
Interesting read, isn't it?
We're still working on it, but yeah, it's absolutely mind-boggling. And he too basically died a shut in hiding in a cabin in BC, completely just socially destroyed. Did he not?
Yeah, and he's buried in an unmarked grave, I believe, in Vancouver or somewhere down there in BC. But it's unmarked grave. Yeah.
Yep. Nobody wants
Patriots.
Yep.
But people are thinking, it's not so bad. The government's giving me money. I still got some food in my fridge. It's not so bad. Like, do I really want to do anything? Nah. Let somebody else take care of it. Guess what, people? If you don't take care of it, don't expect someone else to take care of it for you.
Hey, you guys
doesn't
already
work
had
that
the taste.
way.
You guys already had the taste of the toilet paper shortage. Now you guys are having a taste of the Russian bread lines. You're lining up to go get your groceries. Welcome to communism. How do you like it?
Yeah, they're gonna like it a whole bunch better when that loaf of bread is $200 per loaf, and they're only getting $2,000 a month. Is that gonna look like such a good deal then?
Well, they're price gouging meat right now in different places, so I'm sure people are tasting that one in the pocket.
Meat, fuel, we're seeing it. It's crazy. Whatever people are gonna want or need is going to get ridiculous really, really soon, and they are gonna make sure that the supply is not there. There is no reason for anybody in Canada to go hungry or cold ever, but they're going to make reasons.
Now, keep in mind, people are saying, well, how bad can communism be? If we're in it right now, it's not so bad. Oh, you guys just wait. You just wait. They're going to come down with decrees and rules, and you're not going to have any choice. Either you go to jail, and you're going to get punished even worse. You're not going to be able to step outside the normal boundaries. Look in Cuba, just recently, a few people have been able to get cars. They don't have traffic in Cuba. They haven't built the road since 1959, and there's still no traffic. Population's gone up a bit.
I wonder what moms are going to tell their kids when they're going down the cereal aisle in 2 years from now, and every box is brown with the same color of cardboard and the same lettering and the same text and the same font on it. But one's going to say Fruit Loops, one is going to say Cheerios, one's going to say Corn Flakes. There's going to be no pretty pictures. There's going to be no games, no puzzles, no fun stuff on them. What are you going to tell your kids then? Gotta love communism, sonny. Right?
What a lot of people don't realize is in Cuba, everyone makes the same wage within $5. Last time I was there, it was between $15 and $20 a month.
Wow.
Okay, so that's a lot of money, eh? Everybody makes that wage. You have to work for that wage. You want to buy a house? Well, the government has to approve you. You have to apply for a house. Now, if you get married, usually you're going to wait 10, 15 years until a house becomes available. And then you get to move out. But you're still making your $15 a month. You're still getting your one chicken per person per month. You still get 5 pounds of beans per month. So you're not going to starve per se.
You're going to be malnourished.
It's going to be tough on the hair and nails crowd, though.
Scurvy. Ready for some scurvy?
Yeah. Why do you think people gave up throughout communism in Poland and in the USSR? They just had enough of this shit.
Yeah.
And the favorite saying there was under communism, you pretend to pay us, we'll pretend to work.
Yep. Yeah, it's never going to work.
You know,
And it's only, I mean, and I've said it time and time again, people, it's in our nature. We don't learn the lesson till the price we pay is high enough. And Canadians will decide whether the only question is, do they do it before we're a full on post nation state of the United Nations or not? That's the only difference. It's up to them.
now, who
Sooner
does?
or later.
Some people do really well into communism, though.
Yeah.
Public officials do very, very well. Police
Union?
do very, very well. Military do very, very well.
Spies, KGB, infiltrators, douchebags, Antifa.
Snitches.
They do the snitches. They do really, really well.
Yeah.
And who's doing really well in Canada right now? I think it's pretty much the same crowd.
Well, once upon a time, 50 years ago, civil service, you expected to earn between 10 to 20% less than your than what you did in the private sector, but you had an ironclad pension. You had really good benefits. And so it was a reasonable trade-off. Look at them now. Now government officials are making double the money of what people make in the private sector.
And
They've
for
got-
life.
And it's for life, yeah. You can't get fired. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to produce.
You're going to get a pension. Going to
Yeah.
get a great pension, more than any Canadian is making.
Yep.
Right. And yeah.
Yeah.
But anyhow, thanks for the last word on that, Ed. It's a good message to leave people with. We'll do this again next week.
Send this off to CCFR. Bring them in again. Let's talk about this. Let's dig in a
Yeah,
little
we'll
bit deeper.
bring somebody up.
Yeah, we'll I know Tanya is really connected to him, and she's been really swamped, but we'll get somebody on for sure.
Yeah, but the tide is beginning to turn. There's good news coming down, and it's going to come down like a bomb.
Good.
That's awesome.
Good. People need some good news. They need some inspiration. All right, Ed. We'll
So,
talk to you soon.
Are
See you guys. Thanks
See you
for
later.
doing this.
You bet. Bye for now. And with that, we're reaching pretty much an hour and a half. So I do want to say thank you all for tuning in.
This is a good try. Next time, let's do it better.
We'll get some others in.
So,
All right, guys. We're going to get Doug Force in. We're just waiting to confirm a date and time. We've got that coming, and I'm not sure what else.
I think we're going to
come.
pretty much keep it quiet until the weekend and check
See
out
what
the
happens.
rally, and we'll come in from then and keep updating.
We've got some
Okay?
stories to keep working on too. So
And don't forget about this. Good night, everybody.
good night.